Yo, now today's video, first video with the title of that you lot have given me, Sachi14's unofficial UK president, and as the unofficial UK president of 14, today we have to address something that I know all of you already know about, but we just need to talk about this because it is really serious. We are currently in the aftermath of what is the worst day of UK drill history. We saw SJ getting found guilty of murder. We saw LD and ASAP getting jailed for 4 years. Biz from Harlem Spartans died. For those of you who don't know, if you know the song Kenton Where It Started, the guy that says question, if gang pull up, are you gonna back your brethren? That's Biz. He died last night, the night before last night. So yesterday was a really rough day. Really rough day. Like, there's really nothing funny about what happened. From start to finish, it was just tough because everyone woke up hearing the news about Biz. I was in a lesson at the time. I was in psychology. I was on my phone on Twitter. I saw UDN said RIP Biz. I was like, what? I thought it was a lie, but then at the same time, like, why would someone lie about that? Like, imagine you're just on Twitter and you see someone says RIP to you, but you're just sat there, you're alive. So, like, obviously no one would make that up. But and that was just what happened in the UK. And in Australia, what you lot already know, YP got jailed for 4 years, I think 4.5 or something, or 4 years, but 2 non-parole, which means in 2 years' time he can come out, but then he'll be on parole. But still, that's 2 years that guy's gonna be in jail for. And I know I was talking to Zion, and he said that JM's just spewing, like proper spewing, like he doesn't know what to do. Like, his little brother's in jail, he doesn't know if he wants to go in there to help him, or he just doesn't know what to do. 14 went to do a show in New Zealand. They're from Australia. They went to do a show in New Zealand, and the police said, nah, JM, you're not allowed in the country. And the police were waiting for Lex at the airport, and then they took in Lex, and now he's been jailed for 4.5 years. And I saw the video, like, the guy didn't even do that much. Like, he didn't do anything. Someone was already on the floor, and then Lex is just, like, picking up his head to see if he's, like, alright. But apparently he's been jailed for instigating the fight. I don't know how you can get proof that someone instigated a fight from their actions at the end of the fight, but anyway. And Selly as well got 10 years in jail for his involvement in the same fight, because some guy called Jimmy, and this is a sad thing, yeah, in 14 songs they say free Jimmy, like at the start of the message, the song that blew them up, yeah, to their most viewed song, the song that everyone knows from 14, Selly's on the phone and he says free Jimmy, yeah. And then Jimmy goes and snitches on Selly. Like, does that make any sense? Doesn't make any sense to me. So that's what's happened. I saw the video of the fight. A lot of you this week have been in my DMs. Like, at the time of record, I've got 13 unopened Instagram DMs. That's a lot. I never have 13. The most I have on Instagram is like 4. So 13, and I know 10 of them, if not like 12 of them, are from Australia. So that's mad. Thank you for like talking to me all the time. But like, I really like your support. That's the reason I do YouTube at the moment. Like, literally, the Christmas period, your revenue practically doubles. So videos I was getting like £6 for before, now I'm getting like 10. So, but that's like reactions. The only reactions really bringing that kind of revenue. But this was just too big for me to not talk about it. I don't really care too much for the money. I just care about the more people that get to see it and get to see and experience this content, and the more people that actually support it, that motivate me even more. So the more and more people that come, for example, last week we just gained 102 subscribers in a week. Like, that's why I do YouTube, that kind of growth. I don't really care for the money, like, I haven't seen the money yet. So this is the kind of video I'm trying to do when something serious goes on and I can talk about it, because at the end of the day, this week we've lost SJ, we've lost Bis, we've lost LD, we've lost ASAP, we've lost YP, we've lost Selly, who's already gone, but now it's been like extended, and now Lex as well. My point is, with drill music has one fatal flaw, and this is the flaw. If a drill rapper talks mad, but he doesn't do all the mad stuff, you get a bad reputation within the drill culture. For example, Ross and S1, most people believe that they just don't do what they talk about. S1 especially, I do not believe a thing that guy says. Because one time Digger D spilled Magnum juice on himself, and then he put on his story and acting like he'd actually been hurt or something. And then S1 fully starts claiming it. I'm like, huh? Like, that's the day I was like, nah, this S1 guy, like, your music bangs, I'm not gonna lie. But, nah, that's just wet. And Ross, he just talks so much. He talks about dead people. Like when Shoki died, everyone loved Shoki. Like before, like the beefs in London, like they've always been intense. But Shoki was doing music with A1 from the 9, and then he'd go do a song with Abracadabra. He would do songs with Trems from Liverpool. Like Shoki was doing madnesses. Then he died at a party, and then Ross goes and mocks it. And then Ross mocks Bando K's dad, Mark Duggan, saying, "Oh, go ride for your dad." Did we not have the London riots? Literally like a couple, I swear it was like days after the guy died. Because the police, for those of you in Australia who don't know, the London riots have a link to drill music. Bando K, his dad is the man who was killed by the police, and that death set off the whole of the London riots. So obviously I was very young at the time. I was what? I was 9 during the time of the London riots. So I remember seeing on the news, but I didn't get why it was going on. But I always knew that the police killed Mark Duggan, and as I've grown up, it's weird how it's still linked to my everyday life. Like I've listened to Bando K every day, and it was his dad. So for us to say, "Oh, go ride for your dad," that just annoyed the whole of London. Everyone was like, "Okay, this guy just shut up," because that death was not something to joke about. That was like the highest point of tension between the black community and the police. And then this Ross guy, who is part of the black community, goes and mocks it. It just made no sense. So if you talk madnesses but you don't do the madnesses, you get a bad reputation like Ross and S1. However, as a drill rapper, if you talk mad and you actually do the madnesses you talk about, you either end up dead, like GB, Incognito and Lamps, who made music and now they're dead. And literally, Incognito, I was sat in the barbershop when it happened, and I remember seeing the news, I was like, yo, what is this? And then I remember actually going home, listening to his music, being like, aye, this song actually bangs. And then Lamps as well. I never listened to Lamps, but the guy gets mocked all the time. And it's just people, because he did what he said. And now he's gone. The people he was beefing, they just love to mock it. Because, oh, you're not here anymore, so we're going to mock it. You either end up dead, or you end up in jail. And there's too many drill rappers, promising drill rappers in jail at the moment, at the time of recording. December 7th, 2019. On Drills, PS, Mizomac, Lowski, Unknown T, CB, Young Diz, TG Million, and D Squeezer, all in jail because they do what they talk about in their songs. And that's just to name a few. Bearing in mind, we also have SJ, who's found guilty of murder. We also have YP got in a fight, Selly, Lex all got in a fight. And then we have LD and ASAP who are in jail for drugs. So, point is, if we're not careful, drill could die. I'm being serious. When I was on the bus yesterday on the way home, I was deep in it. We were all talking about how Biz died, how SJ's been found guilty. And literally, it just hit me like, I'm getting put off of drill. It's getting really serious, especially LD in jail. LD is the reason I listen to drill. 6-7 Let's Lurk, Take It There. All their songs from back in the day, 5 AM Vamping. I remember the day the Let's Lurk album dropped. I was walking home from school and I was listening to all the songs, and I remember specifically the moment I went to put the keys in the door, 5 AM Vamping played for the first time ever in my life. And literally, I was listening to that song earlier, I was having breakfast, and it just made me so sad. Like, just to think that LD's not even a free man anymore. He's been given 4.5 years. He'll probably serve about 2, but like, I'll be in uni by the time he comes out. So for the rest of the time, I'm literally in this area until I go to the other side of the country. That guy's not going to be a free man, and that just hurts. PS became my favourite rapper whilst he was in jail. All his best songs from 2017, I was banging them out at the start of the year. Like Trash, Sticks and Stones, One Nizzy, No Hook. So many songs. Riding, literally one of my favourite songs ever in jail. Riding, PS and Karma. So I was listening to all these songs when he was in jail. Then he came out, I was gassed. Literally, I remember my nan was like, "Why are you so happy?" Because I was literally running around the house when I saw like the video of him actually leaving the jailhouse. My nan's like, "Why are you so happy?" I said, "Oh, my favourite rapper came back." I had to word it carefully. She's like, "Came back from where?" My sister said, "Jail." My nan just said, she just gave me a look. She's like, "It's not my life." And it's true, it's not my life. And yet it's having devastating impacts on a lot of people's lives, because the moment PS came out, he released Exit Wounds, Dennis the Menace, which not many people have heard. If you haven't heard Dennis the Menace, I don't know what you're doing. Go listen to that after you've watched this video. Bangs. Probably one of the best solos of the year. One of the best songs of the year. Probably one of the best solos ever, because there's not many that good elite solos in drill. And that was easily one of them. He released Times 3 with Quengface on RV's album, and then before you know it, the guy's back in jail. And for people like me, who he's literally become one of, if not my most favourite rapper, just to see him go again, from a music perspective, that's I don't know how long I'm gonna go without hearing music from my favorite rapper. And from his family perspectives, like their friend, their cousin, their brother, their son has just come out of jail and then he's back again. Like, it's just hard to live with. So literally, I've already said LD's the reason I even listened to drill, and now he's gone for potentially 4 years. And from an Australian perspective, YP is the reason I love 1-4 so much. Like, his verse on Spot the Difference is the reason I do so many Australian reactions. That one verse there is literally the foundation of every other Australian reaction on this channel, because the moment I heard that, I was like, alright, it's a rap. It's calm. I've got enough evidence. Enough evidence has been gathered in the court. I want to do this a bit more. And since then, we've had his verse on Ben 10, Lads in the Hood, In the Beginning. So many songs where the guy just shows it. And now he's gone for potentially another 2 years. It's just hard. Like, it's just hard. And SJ as well. OFB were running things this year. His verse on Once in a While from jail was disgusting. His verse on, or verses or involvement on Listen Up Part 2, again, vile. Involvement on Listen Up Part 1, Ambush, all these other songs, Purge, Reality, I could name so many. Their HB Freestyle, their man, not even their Mad About Boss, he was in jail for that. Their Next Up, all these songs. And now he's gone for, who knows, it's a murder trial, so it could be way over 10 years. The guy is what? He's literally like my age. I'm 16, 17 in a couple weeks. This guy's 17, if not 16. He's going to be out of jail in his 30s because of one bad mistake. And the sad thing is that Bando K doesn't even live in Tottenham anymore, so he's practically jumped off road. Like, yeah, they'll still talk about it, but they've got to a point where they're successful enough to get enough money to move out the area. And I know for a fact SJ would have done the same, but this thing he did was way before they even blew up, and now it's just come back to haunt him. So, point is, drill music's fatal flaw. If you do what you say on tracks, you could end up dead or in jail. And if you don't do what you say on tracks, then you don't get respected, and none of your songs will be rated by anyone. So it's a predicament that a lot of people find them in. The moment you step into the booth, you either talk the truth and do the truth, or you talk madness, don't do it, and no one likes you. And that's just what's hard about UK drill, because and Australian drill, because a lot of these people will gain massive fan bases where people like myself, people like Walks, Lead to the VI, Dan and Kaz, Denz and Renz, all these other subscribers, like reaction channels, will react to their music, love their music, and be literally waiting for their next song to come out, and then they get jailed or they get killed. Like Kenna, Where It Started was one of the songs that blew up drill where it is today, and now the guy who starts the song is dead. So it's just sad. So literally all I can say is that I don't know what to do about drill, because there's literally nothing they can do about it in terms of like these rappers. Like, they either say what they're doing or they say what they would be doing, and then they get hate for it. So it's awkward with drill. You just have to hope that it doesn't die. Mizzo Max out early next year. I think that will be a milestone moment for drill, because if his return is as it has been anticipated, then drill will survive. But if anything, God forbid, anything happens to Mizzo Mac, then I really don't see drill lasting too long. I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously, we still have people like AM and Skengdo, V9, KO, all these other people that are doing bits for the scene. But at the end of the day, it's the main people, the LDs, the PSs, the Unknown T's, the CBs, the Mizzo Max, the SJs. These people that are the reason why drill is so big. CB with songs like Take That Risk, Talk On My Name, SJ with all his songs, LD with all his songs. If these people aren't out releasing new, good, elite drill music, because that's what it is, elite drill music. You know when you see all those charts, because this is the thing about drill culture, it's a very big thing. It expands on Instagram. You see all these charts, elite rappers, dead rappers. It's literally all the elite rappers are gone. CB, PS, Unknown T, Mizzo Mac, all these people, SJ, who are elite, they're not even free anymore. They're not free men. So just got to hope that the deaths stop and the madnesses stop whilst the music continues, if that's even possible. And the sad thing is, I just don't think it is. So it's a sad video, but it had to be made, especially after what happened yesterday, because yesterday just too much happened. And in Australia, Wednesday too much happened, or Thursday even, just way too much happened. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the subscribers we've gained recently. It's been very mad. Thank you very much for 2.6 thousand subscribers. Let's try hit 3,000 by Christmas. You've got 400 to go. Yeah, I'll be back again. Shoot.